Hey guys, we're going to show you how to do the fast dupe trick. First, we're going to start off by unequipping Jack and selling his equipment to make some extra money. This will allow us to buy a couple items. We're going to buy 3 heal berries and 1 medicine. Over in the armor side, we're going to purchase Rudy's next weapon, Cecilia's next wand, and her armor as well. And this is helpful for their upcoming prologues. So you switch to Rudy and then do his prologue like normal. The first chance you get, equip the new weapon. Usually this will be in battle because it takes less time. After which you'll find a bombable wall with 3 treasure chests. These have 3 stat apples. They are essential to performing the duplication glitch to raise your stats. Right before grabbing the holy berry, you want to grab the bandana in the treasure chest to the right and equip it. This will help out with the upcoming boss fight. Now as Cecilia, we have a diverging path now here, so you want to go to the far right classroom and talk to the teacher. She'll give you a crest graph. This is essential. This allows you to bind another spell. Actually, 2 more spells. So, after that, you grab this mystic apple in the barrel. And after getting the stopwatch, you come here. And we're going to want to move the crest graph to the 8th row. Either one of these slots. It's very important. Don't move above these rows. You can move below it, but move it to at least the 8th row, as if we're duping it. And then we're going to sort and make sure you never put anything in these slots. Just a tip. Now we're going to dissolve the 2 spells we come pre-equipped with, which will give us 2 more crest graphs. And now we're going to bind freeze, which that was a given. We're also going to bind spark, which we get that in the run anyways, but we're getting it sooner. And we're also going to bind escape because, hell, we might as well while we're here. We have the crest graph to do so. So now you're probably wondering, you have no crest graphs. How are you going to dupe them? But remember that those phantom slots remember the item ID as long as you don't put a new item in it. So the last item that was in that slot will be remembered forever. The next item you want is the magic carrot, which is right here after hitting that switch with the box. At this point, I would recommend sorting the rest of your items you're going to dupe. So just remember where that 8th row is, and don't put the carrot on top of the crest graph, put it beside it. So wherever you put the crest graph, make sure you don't put it in that slot. And then just put the apples below that row, like you would normally in the duping of this glitched category. So remember that crest graph is still there even though it's technically not. So you sort the inventory and now you have 6 slots that are taken up, invisible slots. So you're going to want to equip your new wand and armor the first chance you get in battle. And the cool thing about having spark is we can now use it on these multiple enemy battles, which saves some time if you have bad luck and you get one of these battles. And you're probably wondering, hey, what about your magic? Well, since we already put the magic carrot in that slot below and then sorted, we can just use the magic carrot to replenish our MP before fighting the boss. So no harm, no foul, as long as you do not cover up these spots with new items. After you unite your party members for a common cause, make sure you go and buy Jack's better weapon and better armor and equip them both right there on the spot. It's easier that way. This will make it safer in Lilithia's tomb, which is where we'll be duping. The enemies are a little bit tougher than outside in the field. And before you leave, make sure your inventory is okay. So make sure this 8th row and below are not taken up by items. Otherwise you're a hoarder. You need to stop picking up so many things. So first battle inside Lilithia's tomb. Start the duping. Rudy heals with the heal berry. Jack moves the heal berry to the first phantom slot and then uses it. And then Cecilia will move it either right or left, depending on what side it's on. So this will take 3 turns to dupe all 6 items, because there's 2 moves in each turn. So once again, Rudy uses. Take this opportunity as Jack or whoever to use the heal berry on a person that actually needs it. This will keep you alive. And as you see here, I'm going to use freeze on one of these enemies to basically prepare them for dying as soon as possible after we're done duping. You might want to play a little bit more cautious here, because what if everybody counterattacked and then that guy died before we finished duping? You know, that would kind of be miserable. So in hindsight, I probably wouldn't freeze there if I was you. But yeah. So after your 3 turns of, you know, heal, move, you should have all 6 items duped, and you can proceed on the next turn. Don't try to kill it on the same turn you're healing, because the heal berries have to pop. Otherwise, the items are not duped. So just wait till the next turn, then kill the enemies off. And then that's it. Now you got a bunch of 255s in here. You should have 6 different 255s, and then you have these 4 apples with just 1, and they're going to be very important later. But for now, we're going to move all these 255 apples on the right so we can use them and see the numbers as they're going down. So we're going to put all the hardy apples into Jack, except for 2. I know usually we go down to 1, but we have to go down to 2 in this instance. You'll see why later. Strength obviously goes to Jack as well. Leave it at 2. Very important. And the agile apples are for response. And what we want to do is put about 200 response into Cecilia, and then put the rest into Jack. To the 2 mark, of course. And of course, this sorcery is a Cecilia thing. So put all but 2 into that. And that's it for the buffing for now, anyways. After which we sort the inventory. And now we're going to arrange the apples like we did in the original dupe trick. So the larger numbered apples go in the left column. And in the right column, the lower numbered apples, except skewed 1 up. So the same order, just 1 up. That's very important. Otherwise the cell shop, the shop glitch won't work. So Mag Tortoise. It's 2 turns instead of 1, not a big deal. Jack attacks and Cecilia freezes. It's worth it for all the time you save. So on the second turn you just defend with both attackers and you just freeze. That's enough. 2 freeze and 1 attack because he has 2000 HP. And then you complete the dungeon, talk to Emma, whatever, and you'll return to Adlehyde. Before resting at the inn, you got a couple things to do. The first of which is to go bind 1 more spell now that you have the crest graphs. So we're going to bind Awaken, which is a white spell. And that's it. Now we have to go to the shop. And you remember the shop glitch that you used to do? You still do it. Still part of it. Shocking. So we're going to sell 2 of each left column apple, which will make them disappear. But don't worry, they'll magically reappear somehow. It underflows the stack above it and gives them 255. And now I'll just start mashing. Obviously I'm using turbo here, so it's a little bit, easier for me. And you want to leave 1 remaining. You could leave 2 remaining just for muscle memory if it confuses you, but 1 is all that's required this time around. And you're going to put 2 stacks of sorcery into Cecilia and 2 stacks of strength into Jack. Now for Jack's response, he only needs 300. So once it gets to 300, we're going to just put the rest to Cecilia. And she should get about 250. Pretty close. And then we're going to put the entire vitality stack into Cecilia. And that's round 1 of the shop glitch. We got to sell one more time coming up here. But we only have to sell Mystic Apples and Power Apples. And so for Mystic Apples, just pump them all into Cecilia, every one of them. And you'll get almost 800. Almost. Same for Jack's strength. And we don't need 999 because we have the water and the fire rune, which you equip and it raises those stats by 20%, respectively. You could use these stacks of 2 if it really bugs you. It does waste time, but you can kind of weigh, does it waste more time to scroll a couple more slots versus use these apples? You know, it's up to you. And this is the stats. They should look something around this. That's it. Happy duping.